Set up Windows again with the Windows out-of-box experience. Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. You may or may not remember setting up Windows originally on your machine. And sometimes you'll be reminded of a piece of that experience when you take one of the major updates and you're faced once again with what Windows calls, or what Microsoft calls, the OOBE, the out-of-box experience. You'll recognize it when you see it. It is something that asks you to choose a number of settings related to how you want Windows to be configured and how you want it to run. It is probably one of the easier ways to change some of these settings if you decide you later want to. It's not something that you need to run. It is something that you'll be faced with it when you install Windows, and you'll sometimes be faced with it again after certain types of updates. So, before you start, I do recommend, as with all things, a full image backup, just in case. The OOBE tends to be fairly benign, but we are making some settings changes, and it's safer to take an image backup than not. So, what the heck is an OOBE? What does it look like? Well, unfortunately, it's not as simple as just running something called OOBE. What we're going to do is run, I'm pressing the Windows key and R, and the program that I'm running here is %windir %system32/sysprep/sysprep.exe. It is, of course, the system preparation tool. Run that. Now we're given a choice, and you can see that the action is enter the system out-of-box experience. That's where we want to be. I'll click on OK. Your system might reboot. And this might start to look familiar to you. These are the choices you made when you initially set up Windows, and the choices you'll be asked again when you take some of these major updates. That is the out-of-box experience. So basically, just run through those choices again. United States for me, yes. Since you've done this once, the answers should be the same as you provided originally. This is an option for you to make changes. Again, the license agreement that we've already agreed to once, we get to agree to again. And now we get to start over by renaming our device. Like I said, this is the initial setup phase of Windows, and these are the kinds of things that it asks for when you set up the machine. This is an alternate way of changing those things should you want to. One of the most notable things that gets changed in the OOBE are these privacy settings for your device. It's very common to have set them when you initially got your machine without necessarily thinking about what you really want long term. This then will allow you to go back and turn off or change whatever these settings are moving forward. We're back. Now, you'll notice that during the process, it did say this may take a while. It did. It took several minutes for this process to complete, and the machine rebooted at least 3 times, maybe 4 as part of the processing. You may find yourself almost being forced to create another user account on the machine if you don't log in with your Microsoft account. It's not going to hurt any of the accounts on your machine. Those are still there. So don't worry too much about that. Like I said, Especially if you want to change those privacy settings, this is one way to do so. And this is also one way to basically restart your machine from those initial settings without really needing to reinstall Windows itself completely. Hope you found it interesting at least. The use cases are infrequent, but this approach can be handy if you run into a situation where it's what you want to do. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/131022. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.